Hi, everybody. Today, I thought I would share with you some of the lessons that I have been learning through this pandemic. This experience over the past couple of months, I think, has been crazy for all of us. It's been new, interesting. It's had some highs, if you can find them. It's had some lows. There have been some challenges along the way. I can tell you personally, for me, I was heading into 2020 with an awful lot of opportunities to do trainings in person, conferences. I was really heading in a good direction. And then COVID hit and they all got canceled. So I've gone through a lot of learning over the past couple of months, and so I thought I would share that with all of you. These are in no particular order of importance, but I will start with one thing that I've learned is that sometimes we have to reconfigure what we offer while keeping the value the same. So for me, I've come to the realization that in-person training probably isn't going to happen for a while, so I got to figure out how to do it virtually and do remote, online sorts of things. Some of the things that I was doing before in person were pretty easy for me to turn over, to, like my business opportunity network meetings. We just switched them to virtual. Um, are they as good? It's weird. I like being in a room with people, so that's been a little strange, but we've still been able to have really incredible conversations and support and help each other along the way. So that wasn't such a big deal. Converting my trainings to remote um, has really required that I do a lot of learning, which is the second thing that I have discovered and learned over the past couple of months. There's a lot of really valuable information out there about how to do things. And so, I like curiosity. I'm typically a curious person. So I've really dug in and am taking this time and this opportunity to learn as much as I can about what works, what doesn't work, what the audience experience is like, opportunities that are out there that I didn't know about. And so that's been enjoyable. I'm enjoying that, and I'm surrounding myself with technology and tools that I didn't have before so that I can recreate, which goes back to the first one that I said, this reconfiguring thing. I've had to make an investment a different sort of investment in my business than I probably would have made this year if this whole thing hadn't happened. So that's been an interesting learning experience. The third thing is that I have been exploring new and diverse networks, and those have been uncovering really fascinating opportunities. So I sort of made this decision that, hey, if someone invited me to a happy hour or a networking, a virtual networking thing, I was going to try it out. If I was available at that time, I was going to see what it was all about. And it has been remarkable. I've met incredible people. I've started to build a whole bunch of new relationships while still nurturing my previous relationships. I have found some just fascinating resources out there and programs and platforms for small business owners, solopreneurs, women in business. It has just been incredible. And, I think about, so I was so in my groove. I was so in my normal, natural way of doing things that my relationships were great. I was helping people, they were helping me. I was enjoying all of that. And I still really enjoy those relationships. But, we're not doing the in-person thing anymore. But what a great opportunity to expand my horizons and see who's out there nationally and internationally and explore new and interesting opportunities and what they might present. So that's been really cool too. I've enjoyed that a lot. Um, Another thing that I've learned is that there's certain standard practices that I have to maintain. So it's not all new. There are things that I have to do, like I have to get up in the morning and take a shower and get dressed for work and come into my office and shut the door and get some stuff done. I have to plan, I have to strategize, I have to find time for writing, for creating content. That helps keep me sane because if I wasn't maintaining certain structures, I think I'd be sort of rudderless and I wouldn't be able to get my brain engaged to be able to get some things done. The fifth thing that I have learned is that sometimes all somebody needs or wants is an ear. And we got time for that, right? I know I have time for that. In a weird way, I've been busier probably than I ever have been before, but I still have time just to listen, give someone the opportunity to vent, to be honest with how they're feeling, and then, maybe help them uh, come up with ideas of things they can do, or sometimes just plain listen. And that's something we can do no matter where we are, whether we're in person or not. So that's something I've been reminded of. I guess I wouldn't say that I've learned it, but we are in a situation where I think more and more people, that's a need that they have, just to be heard, just to be able to vent and get it out of their system. And for those of us who have been home with our families, all the time, we don't necessarily want to vent to them. We might want to vent about them. So having those people in our communities, in our orbit, who we can turn to just to say, hey, could I take 5 minutes? It's really valuable. And lastly, this is not necessarily something I've learned, but it sure has been reaffirmed for me that building and nurturing community is important. I would say I don't think it's ever been as important as it is right now. We may not be able to be in physical proximity with people, but we still need to be building those relationships, nurturing those relationships, helping people, staying connected to people. And there's no downside to us being the person who does the outreach. So this has been an interesting time. There's no doubt that there have been some challenges. I'm a possibilities thinker, so I always look at it and say, okay, but what can I do with this? Where are the silver linings? Where are the opportunities? And I'm finding them. And they are, some of them turn into client work. So it's not just the learning. It's not just taking this time to absorb like a sponge. People still need what we have to offer. They might need it differently. That's up to us. So there you have it. That is what I have been learning through this period. I am curious about what you have been learning. If there have been some aha moments that you've had, if you've had to, our favorite word these days, pivot, reconfigure, adjust, shift, however you want to say it, I would love to hear what it is you've done. So email me, give me a heads up. I would love to hear what people are doing, what ideas they've had, and I will offer, if you need an ear, I am here. You can email me, put in the subject line, I need an ear, and I will reach out to you and listen. Thank you all for being in my community and supporting me over the years and allowing me to support you. If I can help you in any way, please let me know. And you know what? Keep being curious. Keep looking at the possibilities and the opportunities. They're there. We can find them. Maybe, brainstorming is something we should be doing together. Happy to help with that if that's what you need. Thanks. Stay safe. Stay healthy. See you on the other side.